Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on Frickenfelden. This is a new-ish mod map out by Lort Modding, 175.22 megabytes download. I will quantify that statement. We've had some mods and three maps drop over the last couple of days. So I'm catching up on the map tours from the mods that have dropped over the last few days. I've got one more to do after this. Today is Thursday, and I think we're going to get more mods again today. I don't know if we're going to get another map, so I'm going to try and catch up with them all as we go. This has 8 required mods which download automatically. They are written in the description. Again, because I'm on console, it's not links, but they are in the mod hub and they will download automatically. The starter farm is here. Contracts are available. There is one additional crop type added in, and that's arable grass or field grass, and that's a grass you can plant, you can harvest, and then you can sell. 4 kind of grass seed technically. You plant it with a regular, you put it in the ground with a regular seeder, and you harvest it with a regular header. If we go into here, I'll show you just under seeders, just next to grass on the right hand side, you've got the extra crop type, field grass. And then we come up to our headers. We had a map recently, there you go, and you can harvest it with regular headers, where it was on there, but there was no sell point. So just to show you, if we come down here to the bottom, field grass has a sell point at the supermarket. We also have soy drink on here as well. Heat is the biomass heating plant. That's not really a byproduct. You are producing heat for the area. This map is kind of a carbon neutral. It's an interesting one. Is it net carbon or carbon neutral? I'm never quite sure. The phrases seem to be interchangeable these days. So we're going to get round to have a look. Let's talk about slot count. The slot count on all 3 game modes, new farmer, farm manager and start from scratch, is 1,619. I got that down to 1,196. I think we can get it a little bit lower. There are some, if we go back to the map, there are some additional farms to purchase. So I'm going to put some money in a little while. The map looks like this. We do have a kind of a verges. If we click on that, periphery, all of that section can be purchased. That's plot 100 for 1,069,092. This section here is interesting, and I'll talk about that when we get to it later on. We do have a farm here on 73. We do have a farm here on 64. We also have this little plot here, 61, and there's another one up here, 39. These have sheds on them, which once you purchase those plots, you can then utilise the sheds. The doors will open, but you can also remove those sheds if you want to. Now the farm buildings and most of the decorative objects are removable at the start farm. If I come off of that again, so this is what we start with on New Farmer. So we've got Field 69, which has got a harvester on it. We've got the main farm area, which is just here. That's only 21,654 to buy. That little field plot there, and plot 81, which is also relevant in a little while when we go around and have a look. Again, what's on that can be removed. So what I'm going to do is show you a short clip of what each of those yards looks like with them removed and the vehicles removed. 1,196 is what I got the slot count down to, but there is a proviso with that. There are some decorative objects on the farms that cannot be removed. Most can, but there are, like lighting, I couldn't get any of the lights to be removed, and there are a few odd items here and there which couldn't, but that's something to be aware of. Again, save your game. If you're going to remove buildings, remove farms, because you might get to a point and think, I really need that to be removed, and if it won't remove, then you're stuck. So then you might decide, actually, I need to go back to where I was. So saving your game before you do anything like that is probably well worth it. So I'm going to show you that video clip now. So if we look under build mode, we're going to build mode. And we start with sheds. If we roll out on sheds, you will see that we've got these two here added in under Frickenfelden. The others are required mods. If we go to silos and we roll out on here, we've got these three. So 2 silage clamps and a Farm 800 silo have been added in under Frickenfelden. The others are required mods. There was nothing under extensions, containers, tools or farmhouses. If we go to production, we've got one just there, which is the biomass heating plant. The others are required mods. And what is interesting is it's not that is curious. We were going to buy the dairy in a little while because the dairy does soy milk, but that's not showing under here as a mod. I suppose because it's not allowing you to remove the one that's there to replace it or place another one. But we will buy the dairy later on. But so that's under factories. There was nothing under sell points, greenhouses, orchards. I mean, added in over and above the required mods, that is. Before anyone says there are greenhouses, there is a greenhouse, but that's a mod, that's a separate mod. Under animals and cows, we've got that one there, the Frickenfelden cow barn large. The others are required mods. There was nothing under any of the other animal types added in on top of the required mods. And if we go to nothing under decoration but landscaping, painting, wow. So paint textures. We've got a few, let's just say that. A few extra paint textures thrown in there, as you can see. There was nothing under trees, but under plants again. Blimey, O'Reilly, Core, Blimey, Governor. There's quite a few, look. All of that lot, all added in under plants as well, and sort of ground texturing and that kind of thing. So plenty going on there under build mode. We come out of there. Should we get around and have a look? I think we should do that, shouldn't we? So we start here with our sleep trigger, just there. We open the doors here. We've got a wardrobe trigger just inside, and we've got this Mahindra retriever. So as I said, in all 3 game modes, all the equipment and builds and stuff will be here. So we'll come back to that in a moment. If we come just down the side of here, I think we do have lighting. There you go, turn on shed lights. So we've got a fent there with a weight. We've got a trailer, another fent just around the back there. Open this up. Cedar tucked in there. That rear door does open, so we can drive through off the road there if we want to. Then open these up. Plough and spreader. Come across this way. Open this up. We've got our cow barn, 45 cows. Another tractor, cultivator there. Silage clamps around the back, and then if we cut across out the back here, through here, there's a field, the field we start with, or the plot we start with out here, which they've got our harvester on, so that's ready to harvest that field just out the back there. Now it does say there are collectibles. It says 11. I found a couple, and they're ones that pay 1,000. They are toys. 11's a weird number. Normally if it's a lower number you get more money for each one, so I don't know how that's going to pan out. You do start with a production, which is the silage production. We're going to see that in a moment, but that's only because you own this farm on New Farmer. On Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, you're going to have to buy the farm, so if it's showing as a production, that's what it is on here. So we come around the back of the cow barn. That's what I'm talking about, just there. So we go up to our productions. So production silage, we can get grass, hay, chaff or straw, all producing silage, 1-to-1 ratio silage production on top of the silage clamps which are just there. So we come around the back, so this is our manure heap and our slurry point for the cow barn. But then this one, this is sort of intriguing. That's our slurry point, but we do have a silo built in here because this is our chicken coop with built-in silo. So the chicken coop there for 360 chickens, and then our silo just here. You've probably seen this on many map tours as an independent mod. I think I reviewed this when it came out. That's a 300,000 litre, if I recall correctly. And we come back out into the yard. So that's the main yard. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to put some money in, and then we're going to head around and check everything out. Let's do that. Okay, let's do this. So, it's interesting actually that I'm just looking tomorrow on the description on the mod hub, and it says collectibles 20, but when you look in the menu it says 11. I don't know what to make of it. Now, there are some plots. You may also look at the map and ask yourself, plots that are, I mean, I didn't even talk about field prices and stuff, did I? This is what we start with. I talked about the verges, so we can buy all that up for 1,069,092. But we've got plots like this. Now, I go around and check all these things out, thinking, okay, is it a field? Is it a pasture? I bought up all these, and they are actually just meadows. They're all sort of grass pastures. I went around plucking up various different bits. We've got forestry in this section here. This whole top section here is forestry. Again, if you don't want to do forestry, you don't have to touch it. There's plenty of farmland to be cracking on with. You don't have to worry about that at all. And these are extension out. That's not part of the map. This is the section in the middle we can purchase, but that does give it the feel that it just goes on a little bit further. And field prices are pretty much average and what you would probably expect for the size of fields. Not really cheap, not stupidly expensive. As I say, pretty much average. We come down the hill here. Let's see how many times I can put out in front of traffic on this map tour. This is a really pretty map as well. It's all centred around the village of Frickenfelden, which is here. Grain mill is there. It's a standard grain mill. Just there. We come just past that. On the right hand side we've got the pizzeria. Just there with the sale point behind. And then just past that we've got the fire station. Now, as I said, on New Farmer, this is that little plot 81. So we do start with this plot. On Farm Manager and start from scratch, you have to buy it separately. Again, this is not a mod review of this. It has been reviewed independently. But once purchased, you have access to the fire station, he says. You have access to the fire station. And this is the one that's got a lift, elevator, however you refer to it. Stairs up. We've got a bunk room upstairs. There's a little... there's like locker rooms and all sorts of stuff. So if you want to add a bit of immersion, especially with the emergency service pack that we've got, you might want to put a couple of vehicles in here and every now and again have, run some kind of, whatever you want to do. But the fire station is here if you want to use it. Again, that building can be removed once you own the land, so if you don't want it on there and you want to use it for something else, a production or something, you absolutely can. That would of course be entirely up to you. Whoops. Ignore the fact that I'm driving on a pedestrian path. Sorry. Apologies. Turn up here, we've got the tailors just there. Around up here we've got the dairy. So this is what I said, this I am going to purchase. Whoa. I can't remember what map it was that I did recently. I'll show it, spoiler alert. Collectible. You found all 10 pigs. I haven't. I found one. That's curious. So I've just earned an extra 101,000. Okay. That was a bit of a spoiler, that one. So if we buy the production, there we go. Butter, cheese and chocolate and soy drink as an addition. So water, soybean and sugar, and we can produce a tasty soy beverage out of the other end if we want to. Supermarket is just there. We are going to come down the side of here in a moment, but the supermarket is sale point is around the back of the building, which is just there, which we can see. Yeah, I was going to say, it must have been a Lort map, because it was one when as I was going around and I said it had the field grass and you could plant it, you could harvest it, but there was no sell point. And also it had the information for soy drink. There was no sell point, but there was also no production on the map for sell point for soy drink. And I bought the dairy and stuff to try it. So I'm assuming these things have been sort of tweaked and adjusted over time. So as I said, supermarket just there with a sell point behind. We're going to take the next turning back on ourselves just here. So as we run around the back here, we have two greenhouses. Now these greenhouses can be purchased, but the land can't. Again, it's a mild curiosity, nothing major. That's the plot they sit on, and I'm clicking on that one, but I can't buy that. I don't think it's even part of the whole thing. So you can buy the greenhouses independently. I think they're 9,000 each. There you go. If you want to buy them and operate the greenhouses, and they sit right behind the restaurant sell point, so you can provide for the restaurant. A lovely idea. You can see right over the back there one of those sheds I was talking about. all over there in the distance there's a shed. That's on a tiny little plot that sits on this little plot here, plot 39. So if I purchase that plot, I can utilise the shed, or I can sell it if I don't want to use it. So back down to the main road. This is one of those ones, it does have a feeling like it goes on and on, you know. Lighting's nice, colour palette's nice, it all works well. Traffic does not hang about, does it? So back to this crossroads, grain mill was just there. So the next farm to be purchased, this is plot 73, which you've kind of already seen aerially with nothing on it, but we are now, so having gone up there, across there, and we've come all the way down, we're now here, plot 73, we purchased that for 26,603, nice and cheap. Cow barn, just over to the side here. Dialogue box, all the trimmings. This will do 80 cows with our slurry point, feed point, all in here. This has a built-in silo as well. Milk parlour, just there. Storage, etc. This does have a built-in silo, which is a 500,000 litre if I recall correctly. And then right next to that, we've got a 2 million litre silo multi-fruit just there. So 2,500,000 if you want. I'm not sure, I'm trying to remember now. Like I say, this is not a mod review of this particularly. Oh, we've got the upstairs of the barn, haven't we, as well? There's Halo. Like I say, this is not the a mod review. Can we go up there? I'm sure we could on this. Oh, there we go. What was I saying? About the silo. I can't remember if on this one. There we go. Again, small bales, or the liftable bales pack. If you want to throw bales up into here and utilise them then for feeding, you can. That's of course entirely up to you. Drop out there. I can't remember if that was just for animal feed related or whether it was a multi-fruit. I want to say multi. You know what? There's an easy way to try it. We've got a back on this. Normally, if I'm on a tractor, it doesn't work, but this has got a container on the back, hasn't it? What am I like? We want the side we can collect from, don't we? Really? Why is that not giving me the option to... That's curious. There's the pipe there. Won't work this side because this is for putting in. Oh well, okay. I mean, not that it's overly a problem because you've got a 2 million litre silo right next to it, but I'm sure it was a multi-fruit if I remember correctly. Then just over here we have got sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger just there. Then we get our our chicken pen, and the dialogue bit is around there for accessing for 360 chickens, with our pallet spawn out the front there and our feed point just there. Storage to the side as well. So that's the second farm. From here, next turning, heading out of the village a little way, because there is a curiosity, and it's something I haven't checked yet, and I thought, you know what, while I'm on the map tour, let's check it, because I drove out and thought, oh, that's something a bit different. One thing I did check, but a second thing I didn't. Does that make sense? Gas station, there are 2 electric charge points here as well. Then we come all the way out to this. This is bonkers. Now this is on the bit of land which is the verges, the periphery. And this is what I was saying about being sort of carbon neutral, net carbon. I'm assuming these panels produce enough power for the entire village and probably more, the farms, etc. So whatever carbon they're using, this balances the whole thing out. But what I was going to check was, what I've checked off camera, if I purchase that plot of land, like so, you can't sell these. So if I go into demolish, these aren't individual solar panels. I also skipped time ahead to see if I earned any money from them, and you don't. So they are decorative, which I thought was a bit peculiar. Well, not peculiar, I mean, there's a lot of them. If you bought that and you had all of those, you'd be making an absolute fortune, wouldn't you? But what I was going to check, because I had a sudden brainwave, if I go to demolish and we start, yeah, I can. So you can remove the fence all the way around. Now, whether you've got to own the land to do that or not, I don't know. Actually, I suppose what I can do, because I don't technically own anything on it. Can I sell the verges? But let me. Oh no, I've got placeables on various different items. Okay, but what you could do if you were feeling really industrious and you wanted to utilise the land and be really, really carbon everything, you could plant between. If you wanted to. Not trees or anything, because that would block the solar panels. But you could run, I don't know, a 3-4 metre cedar between the rows, almost like when you see agroforestry, where you're planting crops between trees. You could do it between these and utilise this as land. Seeing as you own it, why not plough it up and use it? It suddenly hit me. I thought, I wonder, is that fence removable? Because otherwise it kind of, not renders it useless, but you look and think, I don't know what, you know, it's a quirky feature to have on there. But the fact you can't remove any of those, because I thought that'd be quite cool if you could remove some and put actual solar panels in that are going to earn you some revenue or whatever. But it's quite cool. I don't think I've ever seen one on a map that big, that amount of solar panels. Anyway, that brings us on to the next plot, which is just here. So this is kind of this is plot 64, and this is it's a biogas farm, really, is what it is. So if I purchase that plot, 85,608, that's all. I'm going to buy plot 61 as well. No, 61, there we go, like that. And then we do this and this. You'll see our triggers come up. So you've got 2 large silage clamps, which you get with the biogas plant. And on this plot, you get the biogas plant. For that price, you get the land, you get the biogas plant. So 3 silage clamps, the biogas plant, and then you've got a cow barn. You've got a shed next to it. So you've got your cows producing whatever it is they're producing. You can use the silage for producing told me it's ration you want to, so 80 cows, shed space and barn space there. We've got a Farmer 800 silo, which as far as I can tell is a standard crop type one. I did check that with this. And then we've got the biogas plant, 99 kilowatt was this one? I'm trying to remember now. I'm sure I wrote down 99. Regular crop types in with digestate out, but you get that as part of the sort of farm area. And again, as you've already seen on that little overview aerial shot, pretty much all this can be sold. So if you wanted to keep the farm but not the biogas plant, you could remove, you know, the biogas plant, and you can remove each of these individually as well. So you don't have to remove all of them. You might decide, I want to have a farm here, but one large silage clamp and some other buildings. Remove the biogas plant. Or I like the idea of a biogas plant, but not that size. There are loads of modded ones, but it does give the ability to do that as well, which is pretty cool. So from here, we're going to whiz past that tiny little plot that's got the shed on it, and I'll show you what I mean. If you don't own the land, you can't access the shed. Once you've purchased the land, we should have no problem at all. It's quite warm this day. It's going to be up to about 22 degrees, I think it is. I mean, that's not, you know, ridiculously warm. But I've got the man cave door open. Farm dog's in the garden, and he does this thing where we call it borising, where he has a toy in his mouth and he'll go whoa, whoa, whoa. He does this. He won't bark. Next door but one, their dog's in the garden. The dog's barking. So farm dog is reacting to the next door neighbour's dog barking, but because I've got the door open, that's all I can hear is the dog barking. So apologies if you hear that in the background. That's not farm dog, that's the neighbour's dog. But I can hear Darwin with his toy in his mouth. Every now and again I can hear a squeak from it as well. Anyway, that being said, if you're new to the channel and you don't know who farm dog is, that's our dog. And over the years, where he has been on videos in so much as in the background he might start barking, I have always tried to incorporate that into my videos, so it just became known as he just became known as farm dog. So there you go. Shed can be accessed once you own the land, and as I said before, if you want to use a tiny plot of land, but you can remove that as well if you want to. You might decide you want to put a greenhouse on it, or a wind turbine, or I don't know. There's plenty of other land, but is there if you want to. Next to that, we have got the animal dealer. There's no animal dealer sell point on this. We have got the animal dealer just there, as you can see. And then just round the other side of that, on the main road, we have got the bakery. The bakery is a standard bakery, and it's just there for purchase should you wish. Across the road, we've got the vehicle workshop and vehicle shop. So for purchasing of vehicles and for repair, etc., that can all be done there. That is also the reset point on the map, so if you need to reset anything for any reason, that is where it will reset to. We're going to go left and right and do some other bits and bobs. So just along here and turn right down here, we have got, let's pretend it's a sound effect, we'll add it onto the mist. Not all my dogs are barking, but their dogs. Anyway, here, biomass heating plant. Now this isn't like normal. The biomass heating plant is a sell point. You bring stuff and you sell it. This is a production, and this has been tweaked from the last time I did a map tour that had one of these on. So we can bring wood chips, we can bring straw. It will produce heat, which helps heat the local area, wherever it might be, various buildings, productions, facilities. So wood chip and straw in, but as a byproduct of that, we get solid fertilizer out. So by doing that, we are producing our own solid fertilizer, which is pretty cool, I must say. From here, coming up further back, and we turn into the next little area with some productions. But before we get to the productions, we've got a buy anything silo. So this is the buying station. This is pretty much buying anything, which this is what should have happened with that silo. So we go to start filling. We can roll through the various different things we can purchase from here. As you can see, a whole ton of things can be purchased. Lovely jubbly. Next to that, we have got, my mind has blanked, is it cereal factory? Yes, cereal factory is just there. Spinnery is just here. Sugar mill is just there. That's all of those productions, etc. Now we're going to go onto the road and we're going to head out to the last location we're going to go to. Oops, wrong side of the road again. I don't know if I'm on the wrong side of the road actually. The traffic can't make its mind up. What side of the road are you going on? Right, so heading out of the village again, we're going to head up to the northeast to the wooded area, out towards the sawmill. We're going to take the next turning, and then we are going to cut through the woodland. The road itself runs out and around. If I just show you on the map where we are, where we've been. So from the biogas farm out along there to where that shed was, animal dealer, bakery, vehicle shop and workshop, and then the biomass, buying things silo, cereal factory, spinnery and sugar mill, out along the road here. Now this track runs up, out, and then follows the track all the way along there. What we're going to do is we're going to get to about there, and we're going to cut through the woodland out to the final point. This is all forestry up out here. Again, the plots aren't, like I said at the start, they're not crazy expensive, and you do have a real good blend of smaller fields, medium-sized fields, and even the larger ones. I mean, let's try and find one 345 grand, 250. It's not break the bank stuff. So you should be absolutely fine with whatever you want to do. You can see right in here, simply because it makes it a little bit easier, so I don't crunch into trees, which I probably still will do. It's the small ones that catch me out. Shh, I'm concentrating. We should hit the track, oh there we go, or the sawmill before we hit the track, but... And here we are. At the sawmill. We can collect that one, I'm not going to, just in case. Right, buy the production plant and do this. Wood planks and furniture, so it kind of acts as a sawmill and carpentry combined. Wood in, planks, wood chip and furniture out. Little farm sawmill tucked away in the woods, and that is the map. That is Frickenfelden by Lort Modding. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.